Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing today? Hope y'all are doing great, and if not, hopefully y'all will have a better tomorrow. So today, I want us to have a discussion, and I want us to discuss about the smaller, more honest soul that is referred to in RWBY. So let's go ahead and get this discussion started. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So let's go ahead and get into this. Now, anyways, so as we remember, back in Volume 1. If you go back to the beginning of Volume 1, there's a statement being made by the mysterious narrator, aka Salem. So in this, when Salem is talking, she's actually talking to Ozpin. And with Ozpin, she's talking to him about basically, I guess you could say, the beginning of, well, what we know would be the history of RWBY, or at least some of it. I mean, we don't get a whole thing into it, but let's talk about this and let's see what it had to say. So, kind of a little summary of this was basically it was explained that humankind was formed from the dust of creation, a byproduct of a time long past and forgotten. Not long after, mythical creatures of darkness referred to as Grimm appeared and were intent on destroying humanity and all it had made. Now, of course, with that, that's an interesting statement. And that being said, it is also true that even the most brilliant of lights eventually fade, and the dark will eventually return to finish what it started and destroy human civilization. Furthermore, if humanity relies on strength or dust alone, then it will not be enough to defeat the Grimm a second time. Instead, it is believed that victory will come from something that is long forgotten, a smaller, more honest soul. And that smaller, more honest soul is being referred to as RWBY. Now, the reason why I say that it is actually being referred to as RWBY is because her character. She's actually a more honest individual, a more pure-hearted individual, a caring individual. And I think it's interesting because, seeing her character, Ozpin immediately took notice to her character. And that is because, for one, she had the silver eyes, which I'll jump into that in a quick moment. But it seems like immediately Ozpin had taken interest within RWBY for obvious, well, at that time, to the audience, which we were the audience, obvious reasons that were unknown. Now, of course, as time progressed, it showed that Ozpin had probably seen it in more than just RWBY. And because, there's one other individual that we believe had the silver eyes, that obviously we know, which was actually Summer from Team Stark. And of course, she obviously vanished, and Team Stark was obviously under Ozpin's watch. Now, since this is actually the thing that Ozpin watched over Team Stark, now apparently there was importance between all of them. It makes you kind of wonder. Maybe Summer was his original hero that he believed would be the one to defeat Salem. Because, as we know from what Crow stated, because Crow made a very interesting statement at the end of Volume 3, and that was that the Grimm were feared by beings with silver eyes. Now, how does this tie in? Well, the reason why I say that this ties in is the fact that, RWBY is a pure individual. She was stated to be a pure individual by Blake herself, and she is very kind and pure-hearted. She is basically kind of like the, embodiment of what purity pretty much looks like. She's a very innocent individual. And since she has, basically the silver eyes, which bring fear to the Grimm. The Grimm fear the silver-eyed warrior, because RWBY is a silver-eyed warrior. They live the life of warrior. They were meant to become warriors, and the Grimm were terrified of these beings, that even to the point where if they were stared down, they would just, stop in fear. These creatures that would destroy things, which are said to destroy humanity, which are to completely eradicate them, actually had one fear, which was the silver-eyed warrior. Now, of course, this leads on to the fact, thinking about it, is that if they're afraid of the silver-eyed warriors, that means RWBY is possibly the one that is actually said to be that of the one to defeat Grimm as well as Salem. Considering that Salem is, obviously at this point that we know now, is the number one threat at this point in time. Who knows? Maybe somebody else will arise in between the time between now and then, as of this video, but who knows? We'll see. But RWBY still has potential that we have not seen, and interesting thing is, to show that she was pure and kind, though, now getting back onto that, she actually did something that a lot of other beings probably wouldn't do. Like a lot of other characters, for example, probably would not have thought of doing, or be too afraid to do, as well as the characters in the World of Remnant. She actually, after, Volume 3, or well, actually, at the end of Volume 3, she, rallied up, her own group, which turned out to be Team Ranger, which was the members of Team Juniper, the remaining three, after the death of Pyrrha, and they went off to Haven to actually try to stop the attack that was getting ready to happen. And obviously, in the series thus far, we haven't seen the attack as of this video yet, but it shows that she's so kind-hearted that she would put her own life in danger to actually try to stop the imminent threat of what's about to come. And seeing that, her abilities with the Silver Eyes, which are not completely known at this time being, actually pose a big threat. And this means that she is probably going to be the one to drive back the evil, the darkness. She is represented as the light. And considering that she is the character represented that of being light, she is probably going to be the one to stop all of this, to put an end to Salem's, terror and destruction that she's brought on all these, years, considering Ozpin said that he was over 1,000 years old. Yeah, so shows you how many years she has been doing this, because we know that Ozpin had been constantly reincarnated over the fact of not defeating Salem. And so this means that maybe RWBY is the one, maybe she's the one of the story, that Salem was actually talking to about with Ozpin, to actually eradicate, her. Like, maybe RWBY is the one to eradicate Salem. And so, with the ability of Silver Eyes not being completely known as of yet, as of this video, who knows? Who knows what this capability is? All we know is that it froze the Grim Dragon. That's about all we realistically know at this time being. So, who's to say that there's not more to this? I mean, we even know that Cinder took great injury to this. So, this power can actually be utilized in the future to possibly even destroy Salem. Maybe this is the power that Ozpin believed would be able to finally finish off Salem and bring an end to her tyranny. And, that's actually something to really think about. But, who knows? This is just a discussion, a little thought on, possibly a little bit of a theory at the same time. But I just wanted to bring up this little discussion about what Salem could have been talking about, what it could have meant in the beginning, and how it, reflects onto RWBY's character. Obviously, it shows pretty much as stating that it's RWBY that's going to be the one in the end to end this, whole cycle of destruction. Well, anyways, so hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you all are having a great day. If you like this, hit the like button. It's truly appreciated. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to watch this. And I hope you all take care and have an excellent day. Have a good one, everybody.